Hey guys, it's Vince. Today in this video, we're going to be doing an in-depth product review on an LED light from a company that contacted me after I had moved, knowing that my new lab came equipped with standard fluorescent lightings. Well, we all know fluorescent lightings are nowhere near where an LED will be, and this video is going to be no holds barred, and we're going to go in depth and take a look at what the differences are, and once again pass on savings to you if, of course, you're looking for LED lights. We all take lighting for granted, but when you need it when you're working, it is truly essential. Let's jump right in. Okay guys, so this is the vendor's website that wanted me to do the review on their product. It's Cinoton. And the reason I'm going to their website is I always like to put myself in the position of what you guys would experience and also review when looking at their products. If I'm going to do a really in-depth review, it should start at the base level. Now they're sending me a UFO high bay light, and it is this model right here. We're going to take a peek at it. It's the Cinoton LED high bay light. It's 160 watt. It's plug and play with safety chain and fixture. It's 24,000 lumens with a 5,000 K brightness as far as it being more like a daylight lens. So looking at this, we're just going to come down here and see if everything seems to be correlated with the description that we'll find with the physical unit itself. So again, it's rated at 160 watts. And they're going over some detail about it. Cinoton 160 watt UFO high bay light provides 24,000 lumen brightness at a 5,000 K daylight white lightness, which is suitable for garage, warehouse, factory, and barn. They're saying a 5-year service. It's an 85% energy savings. That sounds great. We won't know that for some time, of course. Recommended installation height is 14 to 17 feet, which is actually pretty high. My application, I'm only going to be mounting it probably about 9 feet, so my projection should be really, really good. You got 2 options for installation with the US plug that's supplied, or it could be hardwired, and of course they put here wiring connection is only for the installer with knowledge of electric, so naturally you'd have to understand coding if you're going to do that. And if you're going to hardwire it, I highly recommend paying very close attention to what you're doing. If you're going to modify the cord and put on a different adapter, that's fine to do. Make sure you understand what you're getting involved with. If you're going to need to extend the cord, I recommend replacing it. I don't recommend splicing cables. It's just not a good practice to get into, especially for insurance purposes. Features. US plug for easy American outlet compatibility. It's got a UL cert, which is excellent for safety, dust-proof and anti-corrosive. It's got a die-cast aluminum housing for superior heat dissipation. We'll check that out when we unbox the unit. It's got an IP65 wet rating, which once again I will cover because many of you don't know what that means. And it is good to be aware of because this will help you determine where it's best suited for your applications. Now they're saying a 5-year manufacturer's warranty, and the reason I love going through these type of details as far as the website itself, once again I see what you see and we can determine together if you're doing a review what matches and what doesn't if it doesn't. Meaning if the box is labeled incorrectly, if the manual is labeled incorrectly, these are things we should always look at. It says here solid support guarantee. Enjoy peace of mind with Cinoton's 45-day refund, and 5-year warranty and 24/7 customer service. We're here to assist you with any concerns. That's a really long warranty and 45-day refund period. Interesting. It's saying the lifespan is about 50,000 hours, which is impressive. We come down here, we've got more detailed specs. Lumens, once again, 24,000. Efficacy, 150. We're coming down to lifespan once again. It's just basically covering the same material. And then we do have some client pictures of what they've experienced with the units. So another thing I want to point out, and this I hope they're listening to, putting customer reviews on your website is pretty much useless today because most of us are aware, unless a third party is controlling the reviews, then they can be purchased. So you guys got to be aware of that. Many of you are aware of that. Some of you aren't. If you're new to shopping online, and believe me, there are still people that are new to shopping online, pay close attention to where listings are done. If it's in an open environment where, once again, a third party is controlling it, like eBay, I'd stay away from Amazon. They can be purchased, those reviews. But if it's on eBay, it's one of the rare sites that still does not offer anywhere to purchase reviews. So that is awesome. And when you don't see sellers selling on eBay, that tells you something. But when I see reviews on, general websites for products, I'm always very, very cautious reading them, because we do not know if those are real reviews. So always remember that. This product looks to be a very interesting unit. It does appear that the listing looks like it's a high quality system. And we'll check out now the shipping terms. Okay, guys, here we are actually going to purchase one of the units to simulate what you would see if you were buying one of these, and we can actually then review what the carrier cost is for shipping the units to make sure it's logistical, because we've seen a lot of websites where they'll spike the shipping and we see where they're making even more money. So here we've got just a general shipping breakdown where it says free shipping, and that's just if you were to purchase the light and you didn't need it in a special time frame. And then you could break it down if it's 3 to 7 days or 1 to 3 days, and the shipping cost is very, very reasonable, especially if this is located overseas. But at these costs, I highly doubt it actually is, in terms of, we know the unit's being manufactured overseas, but they most likely have an intermediary warehouse in the US. And I know many people watching videos like this, they assume that these companies are manufacturing in the US, because there's no way they could have a shipping fee like that. And really what they do is just ship the product from overseas to an inbound warehouse located on US soil, and then that cuts down their shipping cost. They keep that warehouse stocked, and then they disperse the products. So everything here looks good. Let's move on. Okay, guys, here is the size of the box that this unit was sent in. The company's name is Cinoton. It's a UFO LED high bay light. It's rated at 160 watts. There's a single unit in here, and this unit's actually pretty heavy. We're going to give you the weight. Okay, guys, it looks like we are just a hair over 5 pounds, and considering the size of this box, that's actually a pretty good weight. Let's see what we've got inside. Okay, we got a locking tab. A lot of boxes use this to keep the tab on top closed. Just turn this in the right orientation. Once again, you got your product model, 160 watts max. It's an IP65 rating. We'll cover that in the video. Many of you may or may not know what that is, but we will go over it. Okay, so we have a full baffle where the light sits in. And guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I always look at the packaging, because it tells you a lot about vendors actually thinking about what they're selling. This is packaged beautifully. We've got an internal baffle that fits the entire box inside here, so damages are very unlikely. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, the unit is definitely all metal. Check this out. Here's your lens. We do have Phillips all the way around. This is definitely cast aluminum, as stated in its description. Once again, part number on it, wattage on it. And let's see here. Instructions. Let's see what they look like. Okay. Everything very easy to read. Everything in English. Wire connection, if you were to do a hard wire, or once again, you wanted to actually put on your own connector end, they even disclose that, which is excellent. Let's see if there's any other pages. None. Just the back. Now, I'm already seeing a discrepancy here. It says 3-year quality warranty, and we're going to go through that when I'm looking at their website, because I want to make sure any discrepancies are going to be corrected. Once again, this is a no-holds-barred review. I don't play any games, and I want you guys to know exactly what I think, and I want them to know exactly what I think. It says here 24/7, they put 7/24 customer service. Let's hope we don't have to deal with that. 45-day refund. But again, as far as the writing on this, everything here looks really simple. Here's something that I'm really fond of, which is a safety clip. When you hang this light, and I believe inside the baffle came a mounting hook. Take this out of here too. got the spring locking mechanism once again to make this safe, which I love, because once you hook this, naturally you want to make sure that this is locked so it can't come undone. It's also threaded. And you can see we have a set screw here. And just so everybody knows, they didn't disclose this in the instructions, I'm sure, but make sure you use Loctite on this screw, because again, we don't want vibration. Not that there would be any, but it's excellent safety precaution when this is hung, especially at the heights that they're recommending. Nothing to threading this in. The threads are done really well. And you just hang and go. Okay guys, I just want to go over the dimensions of this hook as far as the thickness, because this is really a nice hook. We're about 9 millimeters. So again, very, very robust hook. They really did some thinking about that, considering this unit weighs about 5 pounds. Let's see what we've got here. We'll unravel the cord and just go over the length. Okay guys, we've got the cord unraveled, and I love that they actually put a prong protector on here. These are really nice. If you're not familiar with them, once again, keep our prongs for the insertion into our AC outlet nice and clean, the way they should be. The cord that the unit comes with is actually amazing quality. It is UL rated. It's 18 gauge. We're looking at a, 105 degrees Celsius, 300 volt cable. So excellent, excellent quality cable. Little thick as far as flexibility. The length of the cable, where it actually between the cord itself and where it inserts into the light, we're at about 5'5" inches. So about 65 inches for my guys out there. So you don't have a really ridiculous length. That's something you may want to consider. If you do want to hardwire it or extend this or replace the cable. If you were going to hardwire this, a lot of guys think that in the user's manual it says to cut off the end and just extend the cable. I don't recommend that. I'm not a big fan of that. You're better off using an extension cord. Piecing cables together gets iffy. You're better off just replacing the cable internally if you plan on doing that. That to me becomes more of an unsafe format, because again, we have to then solder, and we should always once again go over with heat shrink and make sure that that cable is bound together properly. So that's something you may want to think about with your shop. I'm going to show you what I did. I actually just decided to use a piece of PVC, come up, run it as a wire guide, and of course, if the PVC is wide enough, this will just slip right in and you're golden. So depending upon where you're hanging it to keep the cords nice. Okay guys, these bolts, there's 4 of them, and they are indeed 4 millimeters. So this unit does carry an IP65 rating, so that means it is registered to be dustproof and water resistant. I don't recommend naturally removing the back on the unit, but in the event you ever had to, you now know what Allen wrench size you would need, and that'd be 4 millimeters. So you're all set with that, and once again, there's the UL rating right there. As far as the structure of the unit, it's very impressive. This is a very nice unit, very well made, feels solid. We'll check it out and see what we got. Okay guys, this right here shows what an IP rating stands for. It stands for ingress protection. Now, for those of you not understanding what that means, it means what your lighting or whatever accessory you're working with is rated for. You can see here the IP rating chart. IP ratings are represented by combining the first and second digits of the following columns. See example below. And you can see down here it says dust tight, no ingress of dust. And in this case, we're 5. So protected against water jets from any angle. And what that basically means is we are water resistant. And you can see we have an IP65 rating, which once again is water resistant. It's protected against water jets from any angle and naturally do not submerge any IP65 rated LED lights. These are not waterproof. So again, if you're looking more for water resistant, if you're looking more for waterproof, these are things you would want to look at depending upon where you're going to use your lighting. Now, in my case, of course, I'm using it in a safe room environment. It does have spray foam. There are light traces of humidity, but nothing major, and this will suit my application absolutely perfectly. Okay guys, this is the safe room, and this has been converted into my lab, and of course the home does have an exterior shop. I just haven't gotten to that portion yet. We're still unpacking. This is where I do most of my work, and
this has been stuck with dual 40-watt bulbs. I've had 3 of these lights that were installed by the previous owner, who was a 27-year military vet. He was actually a Marine, and I love our armed forces, totally support our military. And one thing I think is really cool is he had his loadouts written on the wall, which is awesome. Coming over here just to show you exactly what I've got going on. Now, I'm a big believer in keeping things the least amount modified as possible. And why I say that is there are numerous reasons you may want to change something or manipulate something if it needs to be repaired or if you're moving. I just did that. And it makes it much easier if you do in a more temporary format whatever you install, if it's possible. Not all things are feasible like that. So I've just got a power strip here, kilowatt meter here, so we can actually see what the wattage is on the bulb. And when I turn it on, you can see we are at 159 watts. And this unit has a 0.2% accuracy, so you're very, very, very close. Okay, nothing really crazy here, just used a piece of PVC to go with an extension cord to keep everything nice and neat. Once again, it is temporarily mounted. Coming up, you can see our elbow, and our safety strap is naturally installed around a thumb nut because I went around it twice. Used locking washers on there, so if the light falls, we're set. And use a magnetic hook, and very, very simple 25-pound magnet, and that holds it nicely. This way I did not have to modify any of the fluorescent lighting, and I did that once again intentionally. There is no reason to modify things if you don't have to, and the light you can see this provides in my area is absolutely insane. I mean, again, don't mind the water pump, but everything else here is beautiful. I mean, it is the perfect amount of light. As a matter of fact, it is so bright that if I turn on the desk lighting, you can't even see it. Even my my gooseneck lamp here, very, very dim in comparison to what overhead lighting I have. And this is super bright, guys. And when I say super bright, if you look at this, it's definitely going to bother your eyes. Matter of fact, you can see it on the lens. Okay, and now what I want to do is something that I have the ability to do, most don't, is I'm going to show you the difference between using 2 fluorescents. These are 2 fluorescent bulbs, and you can see the room, how it's lit right here, and see what we've got. And then turning these off, and now you'll see this. You can see just the desk light. Now watch this. This is literally as bright as 2 of those actual quadrant bulbs. So that would be 160 watts. That eats them up like nothing. And that's once again hung at about 9 feet in height. So everything here is working beautifully. And the area is very, very well lit. Much easier for me to solder and do anything I need to do. And again, anyone who's soldering, you feel my pain if you cannot see. That is the worst feeling. Having a very bright light is the way to go. So again, very easy to mount in terms of connection. The thing to keep in mind, and this is not a big deal, but it may affect some guys, is the fact that these bulbs do not have a built-in inline switch. So that means you will need to use a power strip or install put it into a wall outlet with a switch. You can do that as well. I didn't want to do that. I actually wanted to add a power strip so I could split out some outlets, and it worked out really well. But these are things just to keep in mind. And once again, now we're down to 157 watts. You can see exactly what we've got here. And our voltage, we're at 123. Amperage, pulling 1.31 amps. So you guys have got everything you need to know right here. Overall, quality of the unit, amazing from what I've seen as far as what this does. It's totally changed my shop in terms of being able to work with this desk. So again, is it something for you? As far as price, I'd say it's definitely something to look at. I'm going to cover a discount with you guys. And they actually gave me a code for 8%, but I found out you can get a lot more off, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean by how that's possible.
So after I went on their website to simulate purchasing the light so I could see what the shipping cost would be to give you guys that information, I had left their website. Naturally, I had to put the light in the cart in order to get that information. So when I left the website, within a few hours, I was emailed a code to get 15% off. Well, I thought that was great. The vendor only gave me a code to give to you guys to give you 8% off, which I thought was ridiculously low. This method works really well, I would assume, for everyone. If you just put the items in your cart that you want and leave, they'll send out the 15% code. And I was really set up to just tell you, as I just did now, how to do this. Well, something more interesting happened. The longer you wait, apparently, it must trigger something in their server, and they sent me another message to give you 20% off instead of 15% off. So, guys, if you're going to use the code and you're serious about getting lighting, I'm telling you right now, I would definitely add some items to your cart and see if you get emailed these codes, because if you do, I mean, just wait, and they're going to keep emailing you the codes to go at a larger discount. Now, so far, the largest discount I was able to receive was 20% off. You guys will have to make that decision on how long you want to wait. Either way, you'll get 8% off with the code I'm putting at the bottom. This is a tactic I'm not really fond of. I'm a big believer in give me the lowest price to begin with, and I'll order and be done with it. But I know a lot of vendors like doing this. It's kind of like a baiting tactic. Their quality of their product seems to be right on, but that's an area that I definitely think they can improve on. Either way, if you're looking for lights, I would check that out and at least test the method, because like I said, worst case scenario, you'll still get the 8% off, but why not wait a day or so and see if you can get up to 20% off? Okay, guys, so I'm going to wrap up the review with my final thoughts on this UFO lighting. Now, I have to say the quality of these units are amazing for the price point. They're IP65 rated. The power cable is excellent quality. The unit itself has cast aluminum casing, which is absolutely amazing. Very, very well made overall. I don't think you're going to find a lot of issues as far as brightness. If you're looking for a bright LED, these will certainly fit the bill. Now, as far as some cons, and I picked these very carefully. First and foremost, as a vendor, I hold myself extremely accountable for any detail that I list on my products, and accuracy is everything. And that being said, when I list a warranty, I always make sure that that warranty is applicable to my end users and it's listed at the correct time, meaning for length. So when I see a vendor listing on their website a 5-year warranty on a product, and then again in a user's manual only 3 years, that's a vast disparity. And the other thing we need to think about is the price point. Now, either way, 5 or 3 years is still significant, and for the price point that we're spending, I don't think any of you would have any problem, myself included, with spending $46 to have a warranty for 3 years. They need to definitely correct this. I hope that they watch this video carefully as I'm directly bringing it to their attention. And once I get the accurate length of the manufacturer's warranty, I will update this information in the video description so you guys know exactly what you're getting. The next issue I have, and again, this is a pet peeve of mine, as a vendor, myself, I never ever take a product that someone passes up on as far as a sale and I start reducing the price. I don't do that. This isn't a used car sale, and it's something that, once again, a lot of overseas vendors do because I think they feel that they're trying to give you the best deal and they're going to just bait you into getting it. I think a lot of people get insulted by that because it's almost like saying, well, you know what, had I purchased it before, you got one over on me and made me pay more than I actually had to. And that I'm not a big fan of, and I know many of you are not a big fan of. Give me an honest price, the best price you can give me for the quality of the product, and I'll be a client for life. And I think many of you are the same way. So again, these are things to really think about. And once again, if you're looking for LED lighting, and believe you me, I was, because I was basically blinded in the shop, these are points that you should definitely look at. And as far as price point, these lights are really, really tough to beat. So you saw the quality, and once again, once I get the information back from the vendor, I will list that as far as the manufacturer's warranty in the video description. I want to thank you all for your support. Take care.